You are a former attorney, which is so opposite from what you do now. How did you become a lawyer and then decide you didn't want to be a lawyer anymore?
Well, really long story. And I think that a takeaway is you should always look at what you're passionate about and you should follow that and what you like have a natural inclination towards. And you should follow that. And that should be your career and your path. So I remember, I mean, from the second I swear I came out of the womb, I was just super into beauty. I remember standing in my mom's like bathroom and I could barely see over the counter, like looking in the mirror. And she had this pink Mary Kay compact of like all these lip glosses and I smeared them all over my face. And I mean, I was just dead set on beauty. And I always said, I want to be a makeup artist. And this, of course, was like way before YouTube or anything, but I just had in my head, I want to be a makeup artist. And then my mom, she's very much, I think, an intellectual and from pretty humble beginnings, but just very much an intellectual. Like she said, they didn't have a whole bunch of books around. She grew up on an army base, various army bases, and she would just read the encyclopedia set. So she said, and she ended up being a teacher, and she always said that she wanted to be a lawyer. And so I think that she kind of like put that on me, and I would be like, I want to be a makeup artist. And then she's like, no, 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 I think, you need to be a lawyer. And I guess once that's kind of drilled into your head enough, that's kind of where you see yourself going. So I was always really good at school and went to college in Virginia and then came back to Austin for law school. And I practiced for 5 years at a big law firm. Absolutely loved it. I was a litigator, even though, as you can imagine, when you start out at a big law firm, it's not super exciting work, but some of it was. I really did love it. But then it was so strange. The second I had my son, I did not want to go back. And I think that you can never like judge women for the choices they make because you yourself never know how you're going to be either. I never would have seen that coming. Some friends would be like, well, what do you think you're going to stay and make partner? I was like, well, yes, of course. Aren't we all like, and then I didn't, my heart wasn't in it whenever I came back from maternity leave. And, um, about a year later, I ended up retiring. But, I always have had entrepreneurial ideas and, same to my husband, James, I'll say, "Oh, what about this?" Or "They should have this." And finally, one time we were sitting on the couch and I said this was at the time, like, this was, I guess, back in 2013, and, like, blowout bars were big, right? And there were 2 in Houston across the street from each other, and one was, like, blow dry bar and one was, like, blowout bar, something like that. And I was like, I don't care which one I go to. They are equidistant from my house. They are equal in every regard. But I just want to find out which one has like a 4:30 availability. I just want there should be an app for that. And he was like, well, that's actually a really good idea. But I'm sure someone's already doing it. So sure enough, we started looking into it and we founded BeautyNow, which was like open table for salon and spa appointments. And so we were working on that. And then my friend Kate said to me, I really think that you need to have a blog, a beauty blog that basically just to drive traffic to the site and create awareness for the site. That'll be really easy for you because you love beauty and you're so into it. I was like, okay. So I start writing this blog, the Beauty Now blog. Fast forward, several years, we're working hard on that, just like killing ourselves. And the blog kind of like took on a life of its own.
And this was in 2014?
So 2013, we founded Beauty Now. 2014, 2015, we're growing. Just it's very difficult from the technology side in terms of, this is kind of getting down in the weeds, but like all the salons and spas, when you go and you like check in, they have a computer, right? And they're all keeping their own scheduling software. Well, there was no uniformity really and there's still none in terms of the brands of scheduling software. So you've really, to make it an effective app from the consumer side, you need to be able to integrate real time with all these different things. So it was very, very difficult on the back end. So we spent a lot of time on that, got some big investors. Ended up selling the majority of our assets to Groupon in 2016, right before I had Evie. And as part of the deal, we retained the blog assets. Had to change it from the BeautyNow blog, but then it was the Kathleen Jennings Beauty, which is how it's known today. So, kind of from, young associate to retired for not very long, and then tech entrepreneur, and we just really killed ourselves doing that, and it was amazing, and really just kind of led us in the direction to where we are today. But now I feel like I have so much more flexibility. I feel like I'm on my own boss. I'm really doing what I love. And that's the thing. It comes back to passion. You cannot fake passion. And if you're doing what you're passionate about, what's the saying? Like, you'll never work a day in your life. My biggest struggles now these days are feeling like there's just not enough hours in the day. And, if I'm succeeding at work, then I'm, failing as a mom. So that's like, a continual struggle that probably all parents deal with. But that's kind of the trajectory from law student to blogger.
I feel like women need to talk about more, and it sounds like you're the perfect person to ask this, the transition after you have a baby. You do change. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's your hormones that are changing or your brain that changes, but
priorities.
Priorities, but also there's something more than priorities, because she still wanted to work.
Mm-hmm.
She just got over what she was doing, and you said you loved it before. It's weird.
Right. It was, I never saw that coming. I would have been the last person. If you had told me that I wouldn't want to go back to the law firm, I would have said, well, that's not true. I mean, I know myself, and that's not true. But I think that there needs to be a lot of sensitivity to timing. As we all know, in other parts of the world, maternity leave is a lot longer. And our law firm, I mean, they were very generous compared to other law firms at the time. But it's just, there needs to be more flexibility. And but I'm so glad that it worked out the way it did, because it allowed me to be able to kind of refocus and say, like, hey, I do want to work, but maybe I need to do something a little bit more creative. So now I feel more fulfilled in that respect.
A lot of people look to you for skin. We got a lot of skin questions.
Oh, good. I'm so excited.
You are a fellow depuffing queen.
Yes.
Do you really wake up puffy? Because you look really contoured right now.
You're so sweet. Okay. Well, it really depends on what I was doing the night before. So I'm not depuffing every morning. So like last night, because I was going to be on here, like I wasn't boozing, and I was trying to like eat clean at home. Okay. But then let's say typical Friday night, I love the queso. I love the margaritas, and I'm just a puffer. Some people retain water.
I'm a puffer fish too.
I'm a puffer.
Michael never puffs. It's so annoying.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm from
genetics.
I guess.
You know what though? I am finding out one thing. I was low on omega-3, and that is the inflammation.
Really?
Low on omega-3, high in omega-6.
So look at your omega-3 if you run puffy, but go on.
That is so good to know.
I've upped my omega-3.
Well, you could have good omega-3s, but if you're high in omega-6, so omega-3 is what fights the inflammation of omega-6s. So if you're imbalanced, that could contribute.
That's helped me have a less puffy pregnancy. I mean,
how do we find it out? Like a blood panel, or how do you?
We're going to connect you with the guy.
Okay.
After his,
I probably need to
easy.
do that.
So what do you do to depuff though with skin?
Okay. So whenever I wake up on a Saturday morning and it's post queso and margaritas, I have a pretty set routine. So I do the chin strap that I brought in. Let me grab it here.
It looks like a dick sucking strap that you put around your. It's amazing. I need to try this. It's called the V-Line Lifting Hydro Collagen Mask.
And there's a whole bunch of different brands on Amazon, and I tried a whole lot of them. I really like the Stylea brand. There's another brand, Lauer, that works well too. I don't think there's any relation to Matt Lauer that I can tell. If you have a smaller face, I think that the Stylea fits a little better, because the idea is it puts pressure on that. And then as long as you're like up and moving, it allows that lymph to kind of like drain out. So I put on this mask, right? And then I take oh no, did I not bring it? I'll find it. The famous Clarins depuffing mask. So everywhere the chin strap is not, I put the Clarins depuffing mask. And even like eyelids, everywhere. And then like I'll usually do a different mask on my forehead because really you don't need to depuff your forehead. So I'll do something like this Peter Thomas Roth rose mask or just anything really. And then after you let the clearance sit for a little bit, then I'll usually add some eye patches that I keep in my refrigerator. So that is like the trifecta. You've got your chin strap, you've got your clearance depuffing mask, and then the eye patches. And then you have to leave it on a long time. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't have time for that.
What's a long time?
I think an hour or more. The longer, the better. And the thing is, it's not like my world stops. So you get up in the morning and you put it on, and then you're making lunches, you're answering emails, you're doing whatever you do. You can be depuffing while you do all that. So it's not like the world stops and you need to, recline. In fact, it's better if you're up and moving around.
It's passive multitasking.
Yes.
There's so many things that you can do in the morning that's passive multitasking.
Yes.
I love depuffing while I'm passively multitasking. I think it's genius.
Everyone should be. I mean, if you're not, you're wasting your time.
What are some drugstore things that you found to be really effective?
I have had a lot of success with drugstore makeup products. In fact, I have several tutorials. They're constantly releasing dupes of high-end products. I have not had as much luck with the the skincare. I did have these fantastic Pixie under eye patches. They were the Detoxify, and they still make them, but at some point they reformulated and they're not as good. Pixie, yeah, you get at Target. They were green. They were fantastic.
Maybe we need a KB Beauty collab or KJB Beauty collab.
Yes.
With them.
Yes.
That's what I see in your future.
I would love it. Well, I need your advice on that.
Why I wanted to have you on is because I feel like you've done a really good job of merging content with entrepreneurship. Do you have a game plan with the content that you're creating, or is it just creating to create and see where it sticks?
I think that there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I'm not always showing in terms of researching products. Like literally for a good time, I'm on the 30-second page of Amazon reviews. I mean, I am so deep into random products on Amazon. So I'm trying a lot of things. There's a lot of misses out there, but it's all in the hopes of finding that next big thing. Because I think, I think we can all agree that there's some products that don't do shit, and it's all marketing and the ingredients are terrible and there's just no effects. And really, since, I am just a former attorney, I'm not, I'm not a doctor, not an esthetician. So I'm really just doing things in terms of my own personal results from just trying a whole bunch of different things. But I think that after a certain, amount of performance, things are going to perform differently for different people. So I'm always just, a sample size of one. I'm just showing what my results are. But so that's a long process. So I'm doing a lot of that. And I wish that I had more organization on the back end, honestly. I really don't have any help. It's just, I'm like a one-woman show. So I think that it's not, the content isn't planned as well as it should be.
But I think people are attracted to you because you give honest reviews and you're also a practitioner of using the products. And so people go to you. I noticed just from you using the ice roller that people really liked watching you because they can expect that from you and it's not fake or forced. Do you notice that you do that more than other influencers?
Well, thank you for saying that. I don't know if I'm doing it more than other influencers, but I think that I'm only as good as my reviews. I think that the reason there's been traction is because I'll recommend something and I don't recommend things that I don't truly believe in. And I try, I can't say I've tried everything, but I try my best to try everything, limited by only one face. I try to try as many things as I can. So whenever I try something and someone's like, well, she says it must be good. And then they try it and it's good. That's how you build up credibility. So I don't know if it's more than others or less, but that's kind of, you're as good as your reviews.
I think it's a really good thing. I think people forget the whole reason this kind of space exists is because it's built off credibility and authentic voices, right? Like somewhere along the way, it became a business, which is fine. Like everybody should be able to make a living. but it should be done in an honest and trustworthy way, or else you're going to lose that audience over time. I think that's what this is. So like, I'll go on a tangent here. I think so many people are getting in a dicey situation these days where maybe they're giving inauthentic reviews, or they're partnering with brands they don't like, or they're even aligning with causes they don't actually believe in, or maybe apologizing for things they're not sorry about. And it's like, it's a losing strategy long term, because to your point, if your audience doesn't trust you, they don't have to agree with you, but they just have to trust what you're saying you actually believe in.
Right.
Then extrapolate that down the road. It's like you don't have a business anymore. You don't have a brand.
Also, something that you do that I find to be really unique, and I try to do this today after creating 13 years of content, and I think it's so important for influencers, is I post stuff all the time that I'm not being paid for. I post stuff I like. That's it. And I notice a lot of influencers will only post things that they're being paid for. And it actually ends up working against you, because if I love Mountain Valley water and I post about it all the time, maybe potentially there's a partnership down the line. They see me posting.
They won't. I've put this on every
Mountain Valley.
Listen, I've put Mountain Valley on every Dear Media show for 4 years. There's on 100 tables.
I know.
No,
but but it's still the best water. Like, I'm still gonna say it's the best water. But the point is that what I see you do too is like, you'll post all these different things that you really, really love, and it ends up really working in your favor and your audience's favor, because it's not constantly selling them shit, if that makes sense.
Well, it's so hard to find a balance, especially when I feel like there's not a planned content calendar always. Like, that's really honestly one of the things I could really, really improve on. So I'm glad for you to say that, you know, it's difficult with the collaborations and being picky on the back end, because sometimes it's hard to say no to the money. But like you said, if you don't truly believe in what you're promoting, and you don't think it works, then you're going to lose your credibility, and then you have nothing. So
what are some products that are not worth it? I know you're the perfect person to ask.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. One time I was having a Instagram live with Courtney Kerr, and she asked me, she was like, what is a product you hate? And I just couldn't think of anything. And then the next day I tried those, I think it was like a Shark Tank thing. Like, it was like rollers you sleep in, essentially. And they were horrible.
In your hair?
In your hair. But it was like a, I don't know, like supposed to be comfortable rollers. I don't know. It was Sleep Styler. They were horrible.
Sorry, Sleep Styler.
Oh my gosh. But I don't want to call out people. You know, everybody's trying their best. Everybody's, you know, and just because something didn't work on my fine, terrible hair doesn't mean that it wouldn't be gorgeous on somebody else's hair. So, you know, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. You know, a lot of things aren't horrible. To me, like, something horrible would be it breaks you out in a rash or something. But I just think that the vast majority of things I try, I just don't see a result. Like, maybe it was nice and it smelled nice, but it just didn't really do anything. That's what I see the most of. But that is what is so exciting about whenever we find a product like the clearance depuffing mask, and it actually delivers on its claims. It's like, hallelujah. I mean, this thing actually does what it says it does. And that's so amazing. And then you talk about it, and turns out it's working for everybody. And it's so great when that happens. And then you just pray that the company is not going to discontinue that product.
Don't discontinue it.
Right.
If someone's listening and they're overwhelmed with beauty and skincare, where would you tell them to start? What are like some things that you think universally are fucking amazing?
I mean, I think you have to say start by going to a dermatologist, you know, depending on if you have major skincare concerns. You know, I can't really speak to that. One product, if we're getting into specific products, one product that I recommend a lot, and I've just gotten so much great feedback just for years now, is Sunday Riley Good Genes. It is a lactic acid serum. They actually have a glycolic acid formulation now too, but I've always used the lactic acid. It just works really well. My skin seems to really like it. And if you have kind of uneven skin tone, you've got some, you know, sunspots, melasma, it works very well to fade that out. And it's something that I feel like I can see a difference the next morning after one use. And that's always great whenever you buy a pricey product and then you use it once. You're like, oh, wow, I can see a difference, you know, already.
How do you manipulate your husband into skincare? There's a lot of people listening and they want to manipulate their significant other into skincare.
I think you got to keep it simple.
Yes.
For my husband, I do see, a friend will send me, a picture or whatever and be like, oh, don't post this. But my husband's, using these eye patches or whatever. My husband's not really there yet. I think that the key is to keep it simple. So I have him on very, very, very simple. So he uses the Kiehl's retinol serum. So I have used a prescription retinoid for years. I mean, I started it in high school for acne. And then aside from whenever I was pregnant breastfeeding, I've used it consistently ever since. And I think that doctors, skincare experts, everyone would agree that a retinol is one of the main things you can do for anti-aging. It just makes your skin produce collagen and just helps refine skin texture. He has some rosacea and kind of some skin sensitivity issues. So I didn't want him to start maybe with the like hardcore prescription. And he started using this Kiehl's retinol and it was very, very tame. He's seen some improvement in the fine lines, but he never had that kind of red, scaly period that really turns people off of retinol. So I have him do that. And then I do just like a basic barrier repairing cream. So either like the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, the CeraVe, there's a Cetaphil, there's just something basic. So something active and then just something moisturizing. And then in the morning, I just have him use something with SPF. So there's a CeraVe he uses, or right now he's using an Elemis one that has SPF in it, just something with SPF. And that's all I can get him to do. So I think that if you want husbands to do something, like start small. And one time I wanted him to try this mask because he tends to have some redness issues. And I tried a mask and I was like, oh, I think this is good. But here, you try it the next night and let's see if, it works for you before I start saying, oh, this is so great. And he was like, okay, I'll try it. And then I was like, all right. And I like handed him the jar. He's like, I thought you were going to put it on me.
Yeah, they want a massage with it.
They want the application.
They want a fucking facial. Like they want the application. They want everything just done. I'm like, this isn't a blowjob for your face. Do it yourself.
So he's just like lying there. He's like, okay, put it on
every
me.
time. He's.
I never asked you to do my skincare now.
That's you used to.
But wouldn't you appreciate it if she did?
I would I'd appreciate a lot of things.
What's your 15 step?
No, not anymore. I mean, well, listen, I operate at a little bit of a different frequency now than most of them because I have the benefit of sitting with so many people. Like, we've had so many doctors and experts, so I'd have to be kind of a dumb shit to not do something like, so yeah, I mean, I don't have a 15, but I got
But what
probably
are
like
your go-to products? Just share with the audience.
Well, I really like Dr. Dennis Gross products, both the retinols and the C, and I love Dr. Dennis Gross, so I had him. I was doing some Drunk Elephant stuff for a while. What else do I do?
A lot of Elemis.
I do a lot of Elemis.
You use my oil. You use my ice roller.
Yeah.
What else do you use? I think you stick.
I keep it simple.
Yeah,
like you said, I don't have 18 things, but I do those things.
When I
that's
first
huge.
started dating him, though, it was like copper tone sunscreen.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was like,
At least there was sunscreen.
It's
no, it
always
was
good.
like a bar of soap on a rope. And I was
No,
like,
you like
splash it
used
on and
the
get
same
going.
bar of soap on your butthole that you did your face.
No,
And I was like, we
like-
got to change this up. And then he was using you know how they get out of the shower and then they wipe their balls and their
Sometimes-
butthole with the towel and then they put it on their face
No,
to dry
immediately
it?
no.
No butthole towels.
Sometimes I thought like you just hit the shampoo on your face, and I learned that you can't do that. That's
Oh my gosh. You're not even supposed to use the hot water on your
It's
face.
been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use. Can you talk about that a little bit? I think a lot of people use hot water on their face. That's a good tip.
So my husband, when he washes his face, he's just like turning in this like scalding hot water. It's not good. If you use cold water, which is what I've always used in the morning, especially, it kind of helps depuff a little bit. It constricts those blood vessels a little bit, and it's just not drying. The hot water is drying. They say you really shouldn't even do it for your body, but definitely not for your face.
I got a tip for both of you.
What's that?
All right. Bet you haven't heard this one. So we got these like crazy ice baths, right? And I do them, and I go in there, and I like
But you got them like at your house?
Yeah, but we put like a sauna, and then we put like a cold.
I saw the sauna.
Cold plunge thing,
That's
right?
amazing.
And
Yeah, I can't do shit. I get
it's
to
hard
sit there
to
and
do,
watch.
But I was doing it for physical reasons. But I've noticed like I end a lot of them by going under with the full face in there, and I've noticed. I haven't told you this. My pores are not as big; they're tighter, and I think it's because the freezing cold water on the face has tightened all that up.
Oh, I believe
And
it.
I do it because I do it 3 times a week, right? And I notice like every time, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have the pores I used to.
Are you as
Not
obsessed with
painful.
ice as I am?
I am, but I will say, like, I've never done the cryotherapy on my body. Like, the idea of jumping into an ice bath, I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it. Isn't it painful? That's horrible.
It
should
feels good after a while.
It should be.
That's it.
It
Yeah.
should not be painful. It should be uncomfortable, but to the point where it's still safe, where you could get out, right? And I think a lot of people do it where they like think they have to go in for very long periods of time. We're having a guy on the show soon. His name's Andrew Huberman. He comes in actually Monday. We're gonna do this whole cold protocol, but I think what I found is you start to get addicted to it, and you get so much energy, and then honestly, like everything just tightens up.
That's ice.
There's a lot of things, yeah.
Yes.
But I noticed the pores go away, and so to your point with cold water.
Yeah, but I'm like, just use the ice roller. I just couldn't do my whole. But that's a general problem. Like, I focus on my face so much because I'm looking at it all the time. But like, I'm just not as good about doing body stuff because I'm like, well, I'll just put on some jeans and then.
Yeah, your skin looks so good. I mean,
you're
in
sweet, so
person
thank you.
too, you guys.
Oh my
like
gosh.
your Instagram, it looks beautiful, but in person, you have
Oh my
beautiful
gosh.
skin.
Thank you. Yours too.
Do you stay out of the sun? I asked you off air. You have to tell our audience if you have any sun tips.
Yes. Okay. So let's start with sunscreen. If you're using sunscreen, that's great. But I feel like just putting on sunscreen, and then I feel like it's really trendy these days to not wear like a full face of foundation, just to kind of like do some concealer around the eyes. And what I worry about is I want layer after layer of sunscreen, and like makeup particles themselves provide some sun protection. And I just want people to know, yes, sunscreen is a start, but it is, especially if you have melasma issues like I do, it is not going to be enough. You really need to also use like a SPF, like UPF visor, hat. You can't, even just like walking across the Target parking lot, if you've got just sunscreen on, I can tell, because whenever I do that, if I forget like my roll up visor and I don't put it on, the next day I'll see like my melasma coming out. It is really reactive to the sun. So I think that the biggest takeaway is I really believe sunscreen is not enough. You need to also be wearing a hat. And the thing is, like, I don't look cute in my visor. Like, it's not cute. I wish that I were just, out wearing my cute little sunglasses and look cute at night or something, because it's not worth it.
I look like a camp counselor in George.
She looks like a beekeeper coming out.
I don't care though, because here's the deal. I was around Stacey Christie, shout out to her. She's 60 years old. She wears this specific sun visor every single day.
I have to know which one.
I'll show it to you afterwards. Actually, the audience is going to DM me, so let me just show you right now. She wears this specific sun visor, and she's an esthetician in San Diego. She has the best skin. She was wearing no makeup the other day I have ever seen. Look at how cute. It's by Helen Kazminski.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that brand.
How do I pronounce
I'm sure
it?
you pronounce
I
it
pronounced
wrong.
it wrong.
Lauren pronounces her
Helen
last name
Kaminsky?
wrong. Let me see. Where is this?
Right there. Helen
Kaminsky. Yeah.
Okay. It's by Helen Kaminsky. And the one that I like is the white one. Look at this. How cute it is.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, I'll send
And the
this to you.
visor, it like goes far back. Like, I was looking at some the other day at Round Top, and it like ended right here. I'm like, that's not going to do it.
See, that's why I think that it's so smart. She does her whole neck. And she said that she was out gardening. She gardens. She plays tennis. She's outside. And she said that all the construction workers that were working around her one day when she was gardening said, I cannot believe you're 60 years old. Oh, look, you have your hat. You walked inside with your hat. Hold on. You have to give a visual.
I parked underground.
Wait,
so.
give a visual to our audience right now. I have to take a picture of this, of what you're doing.
Well, we're on camera, Lauren.
Oh, well, I know, but it's for anyone who's listening on audio.
So this is San Diego Hat Company, and it just rolls up in your mom bag. There's really no excuse for not having something all the time. I don't know if I should talk or or smile for the pic.
I totally agree.
It's not cute. It's not cute. I don't look cute, but you know what? I mean, look cute later, because it's not worth it. If I try, like, for instance, we took the kids to Mardi Gras in February, and with my outfit, I didn't think that a hat looked cute, and I didn't want to deal with it, with the throwing the beads or whatever. Sure enough, like, I paid for it. Like, my melasma came out.
You know what else I've realized? This is just my own personal preference, and it sounds like you're the same way. I love looking like not hot at all, like looking like a beekeeper that's like homeless, a homeless beekeeper. And then all of a sudden just going to the nines and like reminding Michael why he married me.
Right.
There's something like, I love like being like, just like,
You like to bring me low, then bring me
yeah,
back up.
yeah. I'm like a total Gemini like that. It's like, let's get as ugly as we can.
Right
like,
when I start questioning if I made it,
and like, let's not shower for 2 days and like forget deodorant.
What does the showering have to do with the look? Can't you just, I feel like you could do that.
Let's get so ugly. And then all of a sudden, like I'll go to LA and just get extensions down to my asshole and like just full makeup.
Just to keep him on his toes.
And just be like, don't forget it.
I mean, well, I feel like you're onto something here. So I feel like masking in general has made a lot of progress. During COVID, people finally were like, oh, well, like, let's try this thing that mask lady was talking about. They had time. They were at home.
And
That's
masking,
great.
Beauty masking, not COVID masking.
Right. Yes. It's hard to distinguish. Yes. The fun kind of mask. So made a lot of progress there. Now people are showing it on Instagram. It's really kind of gaining traction. But here's where we're going. And I think it has to do with what you were saying. We need to bring the masking to carpool. That's a good first step. On your commute, you can have a chin strap. You can be masking. My drop-off situation is pretty embarrassing. I full on talk to teachers. Nobody says anything. They might it might just be like a medical condition. They're not sure. But like, I'll have my chin strap. I've got my mask. I've got my eye patches. Sometimes, if I'm feeling a little insecure, I'll put on, sunglasses. I'll have my visor. It's a full getup. Okay. But let's take it to carpool. Let's go a step further. I wear it in the HEB. I wear it in the Walgreens. Like people are like, oh, I scared my husband with my mask. I'm like, okay, that's great. But I want to see you in your mask in HEB.
Then on a Saturday, after you've masked all week, you glow up and just remind your significant other why they married you.
Well, and it's funny, just walking around, it's like nothing says this ain't my whole day. Like wearing a chin strap in your beekeeper outfit. I mean, you're like, this isn't for you.
Because let me tell you the other way this can go. You could show up to carpool in full makeup that's drying out your skin with fake lashes that are fucking up your real eyelashes. Mm-hmm. Or you could just like look as hideous as possible and get all the benefits. And then later on, it's like saving it and being patient with it.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I just think that I'm with you. I mean, I look like my usual look is not like this.
I went and got an ultrasound today with iPads and no one said anything. Did you see that? No one said anything.
Great.
I just walked in. I mean, I was thinking, oh, this is very LA. Because in LA, I'll walk around in a sheet mask outside, no problem. But we need to bring the energy throughout the United States.
Yeah. I didn't know that was happening in other parts of the country. I mean, for sure it needs to be happening here in Texas. I'm doing my part. I hope all the listeners are going to really, take heed.
Send us a picture on Instagram story, tag us of you masking and doing something absurd. Be on a roller coaster. Be on a date masking, be in carpool. Like send us the most absurd, and whoever sends us the most absurd situation will send some beauty products too.
That's great. Let's do it.
Let's really creepy. I want to see as creepy as you can possibly get. Be in the courtroom. Be an attorney wearing a mask.
That'd be aggressive.
That would be aggressive. They wouldn't be able to see your expression though, which might work in your favor.
Well, maybe it doesn't have to be a sheet mask. It could be another kind of mask.
Yeah, any kind of mask. Yeah. I think you're right, though, that masking needs to be more integrated throughout the day and it not be weird.
Well, think about it. Back in the 1950s, ladies would go to the grocery store with their hair in rollers.
True.
It's not any different.
Very true.
And people don't do that anymore. That has fallen out of fashion, but the masking in public, it's coming. And you know who I've seen doing it? There are pictures of Cher all over the internet, just walking around wearing a sheet mask.
I have a theory on that. I also think she wears that mask because she doesn't want to put on makeup. If I was like followed by the paparazzi everywhere, it's a great way to just not put on makeup.
True.
When I was in quarantine, I would do Instagram lives. You know how everyone was doing Instagram lives? Mm-hmm. Thank God that's over.
That was the worst. That was the all-time low of the COVID situation.
I didn't want to put on makeup every single time I did a live. It was just like, I just don't want to do it. And so I just put a mask on. So that's my theory on Cher. She just is like, I can't be bothered with, $6,000 worth of glam today. I just want to go to the market and be left alone.
Maybe so. Well, but then that's a takeaway for everybody. Like if you don't want to look bad, if you think that you look bad, put on a mask and, at least it looks like you're doing something about it.
Maybe we could just start wearing Halloween costumes every day.
You know what? You should wear a mask to carpool and just act completely normal.
I'm gonna be the guy in carpool. I know it. I'm gonna be there.
No,
You're not much of a morning
what
person.
I
With eye
really want to
patches.
do, like my dream with Michael, is I just ordered a pregnancy fat suit for him. Whatever it's called. People are going to be like, fat suit. Okay. If pregnancy.
A belly.
Whatever.
A weighted
prosthetic.
belly suit. Yeah.
Pregnant belly.
Whatever. I'm canceled. I ordered one for Michael and I want him to wear that in the carpool lane with a mask on.
I don't understand this weird obsession with wanting me to experience that.
Well, have you heard they have those things you can make them feel contractions? Like they
I've
can
seen that, like it's an electric thing.
Yeah, I'm like, that's medieval.
Maybe I'll put that underneath the pregnancy.
While he's driving your child through carpool.
Passive multitasking. Let's bring it full circle.
Yeah. I mean, it's not fun being pregnant. Some people love being pregnant. I don't understand it.
Did you feel like it was a lot of work? You had 3.
I can't complain. Like I had a decent pregnancy. I can't complain. But just like you're normal, I was a puffer. Like at the end, like my ankle, they were like, I called them like Shrek feet. They were just ginormous.
Is this
and then
at
I was
the point
puffy after. I was puffy for like 2 weeks after, like all the fluid they put in your body while you're in the hospital giving birth. I was almost puffier after than before.
So were you into beauty when you were pregnant, or was this not when you were super into beauty? I know you've been into beauty your whole life, but were you into it like you're into it now?
Well, so I'll tell you, 2016, whenever I had Evie, I remember the Instagram photo that I shared to announce to everyone, like, hey, we have a girl, her name's Evie. I'm in like the Clarins depuffing mask. I think I hadn't discovered the chin straps yet. I think I'm just in the Clarins depuffing mask with eye patches on. And let me tell you, every nurse that came in was like taken aback, like shocked, like they've never seen such a thing. I feel like I was one of the first in that hospital, at least, to ever do it. They thought I was crazy. I can only imagine what they were saying at the nurse's station. But now I feel like people send me pictures all the time of, masking with their little baby, like, welcome to little one.
It's
Here I am in the
essential
mask.
in labor. And you just inspired me. I'm going to pack that in my.
Oh, you got to pack that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Guess who was masking during my labor? Michael.
My husband was napping.
You're going to fault me for
Is
it
that
now?
worse?
Felt like
No,
was
I
getting a
don't
little
know
dried
what's
out.
worse.
I
I
was
don't
getting
know
dried
what's
out.
worse. Yeah, what's worse, napping or masking? I'm going to say that napping's worse.
Yeah.
He was napping.
He was napping.
I think
like,
I'd
not
kill
the
Michael.
intense part, but like,
But he was.
we check in and he gets on the couch and goes, he did it all 3 times. It was like his, like,
I was super irritated because
Go-to.
she started going into labor and I hadn't quite finished applying. And I was like, can you hold on for a second? I'm just kidding.
Did you want to kill
Let me
him
just
when
rinse
he
this
was
off real quick.
napping or no? Because it wasn't the intense part.
it wasn't the intent. I was just kind of like shocked. Like, we're about to have our first child and you're on this couch. How are you sleeping on that?
Probably had to keep his energy.
I guess.
Did
he was
you-
resting up for the phase after.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Rest up. That's you just want to
Right.
be like,
It's
rest
the last
up.
nap you'll ever take, buddy.
Yeah. Did you notice that your skin changed post-pregnancy?
I have I've actually seen a lot of changes with my hair. My hair has gotten a lot darker, which is a shame. Yeah, I don't know. It's gotten a lot darker. I've always been blonde, and then of course, like, I started highlighting, so I just kind of like stayed blonde, but it's gotten a lot darker. In fact, one time one of my boys was like playing with my hair and he was like looking underneath. He was like, your hair's black underneath. And then he goes, don't worry, I won't tell anyone you're really a daddy, because I guess my husband has dark hair. And so he was
That's
like,
amazing.
daddies have black hair. I don't know.
You have to write that down in like his
I know,
scrapbook.
it's really cute. Wade, my middle. But with skin, I mean, I'm definitely having a lot more issues with melasma. I think it's just age more so than like pregnancy related. I think it's just all that old sun damage from field hockey, teenager. So like I would lay out with my friends, but I would always put a washcloth over my face. I don't know if that really did anything, but I mean, I know that I was out there playing sports and doing that. So I think it's just really stuff that's lurking underneath the surface and then it starts coming out. So you've just really got to focus on the exfoliation to kind of keep it at bay.
You're a big fan of exfoliation.
Yes.
What's
That's
your
the key.
favorite product?
One of the products I actually haven't talked about in a long time is Cure Natural Aqua Gel. Actually, my husband really likes this one. He only uses it once in a while. So it's apparently one sold in Japan every, X seconds or something. It's a top seller. You get it on Amazon and you put it on clean, dry skin. Like, it doesn't work on wet skin.
Say it one more time.
Cure Natural Aqua Gel. It's cheap. It's like under $30. And the the thing will last you forever. And you basically just rub it around and all these little white flakies start coming up. But it's completely gentle. It's not like those usual microdermabrasion kind of exfoliating scrubs. It's very gentle. So I really like it if you have had a zit and it kind of got dried out as you've been trying to kill the zit and you've got kind of like crusties around. It's great for that.
All right, we have to talk about services. Are you a facial fan? I'm a once a week facial girl.
Oh my gosh. I was in Houston. Deborah Michelson, if anyone is in Houston, got to try to get in with her because she's amazing. I discovered her because I am obsessed with the Biologique Recherche products. They're so great. And I brought one, but I guess I didn't get it out of my mom bag. But the Mask VIP02 is the mask that I use most days. Like, so if I'm not depuffing or if I don't have something I'm specifically trying to target, like, oh, my skin looks dull and I need to do like some sort of exfoliating mask on like a normal day, because I mask almost every single morning. I use the Mask VIP02. So anyway, I found her just through the Biologique website because I was trying to find someone in Houston that sold the products. And at the time, whenever I started with her, she was the only one in Houston that sold the products. So she is amazing. She's got the remodeling face machine, which is basically like the new face, but on steroids. She's fantastic. And whenever I was going, I wasn't going once a week. It's really pricey. But once a month, once every 6 weeks, I just saw such a difference in my skin. It was unbelievable. I haven't started here. I need to.
I have a facialist.
Oh, really?
I got to shout her out. She's a small business in Austin, Brooke at the Road.
Okay.
And she's amazing.
Is she?
She's
what
amazing.
Products does she use?
She uses very natural, holistic products. It's not
nice.
like a medical facial.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I go, my face feels like it's chiseled and tightened and my skin feels so hydrated. And she also does facial acupuncture for cosmetic Botox. I said that wrong. She does facial acupuncture that's natural Botox in quotes. So she like knows points that will lift your eyebrows and she knows points. And I've been doing it my whole pregnancy.
You look lifted.
I don't know about lift.
Yes, you do. No, you look lifted and line free. You look good.
I don't hear that enough from you. I'm going to need you to take these compliments and put them in your back pocket.
Take some notes.
Okay. Yeah.
Lifted and line free.
Yeah,
you can write that down, Michael.
That's my new compliment.
What are your thoughts? Botox, filler, plastic surgery? Like, what's your vibe on that?
I'm totally for it. I'm just afraid a little bit. First of all, I do a lot of it. So I started getting Botox when I was, I think, 26, just in my forehead. I see my dad's forehead and I make the same expression he does. And he has, furrows, which is very distinguished on a man, but that's not really the look we're going for. So I started that very young and then just did Botox for years and years and years. I tried under eye filler, I want to say like 2013-ish. It looked great the first time. The second time I felt like maybe it hadn't completely gone away or something. I feel like it just gets starts to look a little bit more visible. So then stopped that. I did dabble with a little filler. I did Sculptra in Houston. It's been, I don't know, probably 2 years now since I've gotten filler. But I'm definitely not against it. I feel like I'm due for it again, but it is just so scary. It's such a slippery slope. And I feel like everybody starts to look the same. And I don't want to look different. I just want to keep looking the same. So it's just really important to find someone who is an artist and really good injector, probably a medical doctor, but
I agree. And I think the thing about eye filler that I've noticed is if you get it and then you get it again and again, it pushes up underneath the eye and makes your eyes appear smaller than they are. So I personally am not a fan for myself of under eye filler because I don't want to push my eye up. And I notice if you keep on getting it over and over, it's almost like the filler stays in there and keeps pushing and pushing and pushing.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's like it never fully goes away. So the first time people are like, why aren't you talking about this? This looks so amazing. All my girlfriends are saying this looks so amazing. I'm like, yes, the first time it looks really, really good. But for some reason, it just doesn't look as good subsequently. So
I also feel there's something creepy to me about getting filler in the under eye area. I
know
don't.
it's all creepy.
It's like, I don't know why that grosses me out so much.
It's all bad.
It's just like right under your eye, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that also like with all these procedures, facial manipulation is so underrated too. Are you a fan of facial manipulation, like facial massage?
Well, I mean, just insofar as Deborah used to do it and she used that remodeling face machine. What I do use all the time is my new face. And I think I was probably like 35-ish. And I was looking into old therapy. I was noticing some sagging because the deal is like, yeah, you can do some filler to replace that volume, but at a certain point, it's the package that's sagging. It's not just a matter of plumping it up. You're going to start to get overfilled. And so I started looking into old therapy, and then I came across the new face, and it really staved off anything for years. I don't think that it is long-term a solution. You've got to keep doing it. It's like working out. I mean, you can't like do some squats and then expect it to keep working, for months later. It's like exercising your face. So I do it most mornings, but it depuffs, it lifts. It made me happy enough to where I stopped looking at that until I was probably but recently. And then I did another procedure and the jury's still out, but I think that it was really good. The soft wave. Have you heard of it? A girlfriend of mine did it in Houston, and I was like, "Oh, isn't it just like old therapy because it's ultrasound?" But I think it doesn't go quite as deep. It's supposed to be not as painful, but I mean, I definitely took all the drugs because it was very, very painful while they did it. But there's zero downtime, like no redness, does not hurt at all after. I mean, it was like nothing ever happened, and it builds collagen. And so I did it on my neck and my face, and this is only probably not even a month ago. Within a week, I could see less like crepiness in my neck.
Wow.
And I mean, I feel like I didn't start to notice anything with my neck until I was 39.
Don't forget your neck.
Right. I was like,
your
everything
hands.
is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Your arms, don't forget.
I'm sure my arms are going next, but I just I don't look at them.
We need to get you driving gloves, even though your hands look perfect.
Oh,
they look like a 16-year-old.
Oh gosh, I don't know about that, but don't look at my nails. But I wear those like UPF shirts that kind of go
I
over
love
your,
you. Kindred spirits.
I mean, I don't look cute.
Get your car windows tinted, do all the things, facial manipulation. In my book, Kristen Cavallari says something that I feel like is so on brand with this too. She says, everyone works their body out all the time, but people are not working their face out. So what happens is you work your body out, but then your face starts to sag because you're just like letting it go to gravity. So I think it's incredibly important to work the face out.
Well, I've got the opposite problem. I feel like I'm always doing stuff for my face and like ignoring my body.
You know what? Whatever works. I wish you were in my book, by the way. Next one.
Oh, gosh.
Next one.
Thank you.
You're
I'd be
a wealth
honored.
of information. We're going to give away maybe some of our beauty favorites to the one person that shows us the weirdest place that they're masking.
Yes. We should come up with a hashtag.
What should it be?
I don't know. Well, I was doing like hashtag carpool masking, and it kind of turned into like dog walk masking and whatever you're doing. Hashtag, roller coaster riding masking.
Whatever. You can do anything. You could do any position, whatever you're doing.
Oh my gosh.
What's a good hashtag?
I don't know. We'll have to think on that.
Okay.
Michael?
Yeah. We need like something.
Like masking in the wild.
Okay. Masking in the wild.
I love this challenge.
And,
I really want to get it going, but I think it's amazing to hear that people are doing it more in California.
Yes, we're going to make it a thing. Masking in the wild.
People in California love masks.
Well,
Zing! I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Oh my God, a dad joke.
Oh, that's a good one.
We're past that phase, everyone. We're past it.
It's going to be okay. Masking in the wild's the hashtag. Where can they tag you?
At Kathleen Jennings Beauty.
You can tag me at Lauren Bostic, and we'll pick a winner and we'll put together some of our favorites. Maybe you can put together like a couple things. I'll put together a couple things.
Sure. I want to see some crazy shit though. I mean, at the very least in a grocery store.
The
very least.
Get sexual with it. You can do whatever you want with it. Let's see the
this
weirdest
is going to turn
thing.
into a different challenge if you go that way. But
No, you can do a lot of creative things. Like let's get your creativity on.
I love it.
Pimp yourself out. Where can everyone find you besides your Instagram account? Share your blog, everything.
I'm at KathleenJenningsBeauty.com. You'll find my blog. At Kathleen Jennings Beauty is my handle across all social media, except Twitter. I don't do Twitter. And just check out my stories. I feel like I'm just kind of trying a bunch of stuff. I'm very active on stories and trying the stuff that works, that doesn't work, real time, and trying to mask in some funny places. I'm going to work on this. I feel like you've inspired me, Lauren. I can do more. We can all do more.
My audience messaged me about you. That's how I found you. They were like,
Really?
you have to follow
Thank
this
you,
girl.
guys.
She's so up your alley. And sure enough,
Oh,
you
that's so
were. Thank you for
nice.
coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's been such an honor, you guys. I really appreciate
Thank you
it.
for coming in.
Get a chin strap, a chin strap,
Chin.
chin.
Yes.
Get a chin
Get
strap.
an English class.
Can't speak. Chin strap. Thank you.
Thank you.